Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at the TMNT IDW collection. This is volume 5 with April on the front. It says here on the back this collects the Turtles in Time mini-series, issues 38 through 44 of the ongoing series, and the TMNT Ghostbusters crossover. So let's take a closer look at the book itself, and then we can come back and discuss my thoughts on it overall. On the front we have April. This is IDW volume 5, and we've got yellow on the side sort of Katana design which matches up. On the back we've got April with a kind of fishbowl or container of the turtles, and then we've got a little bit of a synopsis on the back. It says, after meeting a good-natured interdimensional time travel named Renet, the turtles become unstuck in time and go spinning into the past. Meanwhile, Shredder and Krang finally meet up, but will they be able to overcome their differences and join forces? Old Hob has perfected the art of making mutants, plus when a new invention goes haywire, the turtles are sent to a whole new type of New York City, one with a whole lot more ghosts and Ghostbusters. As always with these books, they have a sewn spine and a ribbon, which is cool to see, so it all lifts up and spreads across pretty good. We have the standard kind of grey intro by now with all of the layouts of the issues, and it, as I've said previously, lays out the sort of tie-in issues throughout the main kind of ones, so it's not like you get, say for instance, the whole Ghostbusters run and then say the whole single issues. If there is something that you made a single issue between that, they'll insert it in. This first section, Turtles in Time, was fun, but personally I didn't really feel the need for it, and the art just keeps changing every few sort of issues, which I guess gives them an excuse to just constantly change artists. We then get back into our main kind of story, where we're progressing through the Mutanimals kind of stuff, and that all looks pretty good. And we get our tie-in to the Ghostbusters, which looks like it's drawn by the Ghostbusters artists rather than the Turtles artist, because it's very, I don't know, cartoon kind of looking. Not in a terrible sense, but just I wasn't really a fan of more actually the Ghostbusters in this than the Turtles. The Turtles looked okay. And then if we skip to the back, in the back of these maybe get a couple of extras. So we've got a Bebop Rocksteady cover, we've got a sort of Turtles versus the Foot Clan kind of cover, and then just a kind of turtle there at the end, I believe that's it. This book's kind of split into 3 kind of areas. There's more of the kind of Turtles in Time stuff, which, if I'm being honest with you, I'm getting a little bit burnt out on. I don't really like them having to sort of do these weird time travel fights just for the sake of it. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure they just jump through 4 or 5 time zones, fight random fights for other people, and then get to meet the same time travel-y girl again, which doesn't really tell them much, and then they get popped back into their real kind of time. As I say, it doesn't do anything for the progression, it doesn't do anything for the story. The art is actually worse in those ones, as I say, in my opinion, and yeah, just ignore those bits really. I mean, you can read them if you enjoy them, as in I have read through them because I've never read them before, but I just don't think they really add to the story. The Ghostbusters crossover that we have in there somewhat adds to the story, but I personally just couldn't connect with it. I'm not a Ghostbusters fan by any means, but I did watch the original sort of animated series briefly as a kid, and I know what the actors look like that were in the movie. I find the art style they used for these Ghostbusters and the characters I guess they used for them just didn't connect with me in the slightest. And the few couple of kind of jokey moments like, oh, you've got one of those geeky guys too type things, was more demeaning our characters than adding anything into newer ones. So I personally didn't like the way they were kind of doing that. And Donnie being the main focus of this book, despite April being on the cover, I don't like the fact that we're kind of trying to demean him as a character in that kind of thing. So it's nice to have the crossovers included in the hardcovers, and I do prefer as I say, the Ghostbusters crossover to the Turtles in Time stuff. But let's just do the main story, guys. I want more stuff around Krang, maybe around the sort of mutanimals with, you know, Hob and stuff around Shredder. I don't want separate, just travelling through time doing random shit that doesn't matter, right? So let's just move away from that. Anyways, so the main story arc of the book does focus on, as I say, Donatello's overall plan. And the last book showed him getting a little bit frustrated around the fact that he wanted to take on the Technodrome and do certain things, and the main, I guess, Turtles and mainly Splinter were too focused on getting revenge on Shredder. So he puts this whole plan in motion of how he's not only going to take on all the bad guys at the same time, but take on all these different elements and kind of make things fight against each other. And it's just really interesting how it all kind of comes together, and it shows that he's not only a tech head, but actually a pretty good strategist within the Turtles overall. And it's just really good fun. They used a few of the things that they've created in previous kind of things. So we have the suit that was created for our sort of dragon girl. I forget what her name is, but she kind of calls herself Nobody now when she's in this kind of costume. There's the metalhead kind of robotic version of a turtle, which, as I say, Donatello uses to maybe manipulate and speak to some of the different kind of bad guys without having to be there or get hurt himself. And there's a few things around, I believe, Baxter Stockman kind of creating things and changing stuff up as well. And the droid guy, I forget what his full name is as well. So I can't really complain. I recommend checking this book out. It is, as I say, a pretty good progression, and if you like Donatello as a character and his sort of planning and strategy type stuff, then this is a pretty good book overall. So I recommend you guys pick it up if you've read the previous volumes. I wouldn't really say to read it by itself because you're probably going to be missing a lot of the backdrop and how this kind of came together. Alright guys, if you're reading the Turtles IDW collection, let me know below what your thoughts are, if you're collecting them in these hardcovers, or maybe you're collecting them as the standard trades to skip out some of the kind of the side stories and things because, you know, maybe you don't have as much space or you don't want to read all that kind of stuff in that manner. Let me know below though, as I'd be always interested to hear, you know, how you guys are collecting it and what your thoughts are. Alright guys, thanks for watching. As always, it's appreciated if you share these videos with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time.